Are you a cat magnet? Some lucky humans find that they can't leave the house without attracting strange cats. The animals seem to sense their aura from miles away and come up begging for snacks or pets. But what gives these people their intense feline charisma? And if you don't have this mysterious ability, then how can you increase your attractiveness to cats and start getting some of that attention? From how you smell to how you dress and more, we're going to look at 9 reasons why some people get more feline attention than others. Number 1. Check your body language. Sometimes cat-attracting powers can be more like a curse than a gift. People who dislike cats, or worse, have allergies, will often find that whenever they pass a cat on the street or go to the home of a cat-loving friend, they immediately become the unwilling recipient of effusive feline affection. If you're friends with somebody like this, then you might find yourself wondering why your cats seem to target them so much. What makes them go after someone who clearly doesn't want them around, when there are so many poor cat-loving people who remain tragically bereft of kitty cuddles? Well, the answer is body language. Humans and cats have kind of opposite body language. Humans are very social creatures, so when we want to show somebody we like them, we send all of our social signals outward. We talk to them, we shake hands, we look them in the eyes, and we may subconsciously find ourselves leaning towards them. Cats, however, although they've become more social since being domesticated, originally evolved to live relatively solitary lives. When they want to show somebody they like them, they go inward by stopping showing negative social signals. Cats who want to show somebody that they want to be friends will often avoid looking them in the eye, shoot little glances at them, and then look away and sit still and at a distance from them. That is to say, the same behaviors that a human who doesn't like cats would exhibit when trying to communicate. Please don't come near me. Ironically enough, if you want to get cats to keep away, then the best thing you can do is be loud and move closer to them, while if you want to befriend an unfamiliar cat, the best tactic is to play hard to get. Number 2. Do you have any food? This is the most likely reason why a strange cat will come up to you, or a familiar cat for that matter. Cats can be little walking garbage cans and will often go the extra mile for a yummy snack. If you're carrying food and a cat approaches, you can assume that they're after their share. This is especially likely to be true if the food you're eating is something that cats naturally love. Obviously, the usual suspects for this are meat and fish products, but cats will also often go crazy for olives, which can have a similar effect on cats to catnip. What about if you don't have a snack though? Well, remember, a cat's sense of smell is much better than yours. It's entirely possible that if you ate recently, then the cat may be able to smell it on your breath or the crumbs on your clothes. Also, if you happen to be the kind of sucker who responds to emotional blackmail from strange stray kitties and have fed them before, then they likely remember you and are more likely to approach you again. Even if you didn't feed them personally, they may have seen you feeding another kitty and have decided that you are an easy mark. A bit humiliating, yes, but it's worth being seen as a patsy if you get free kitty cuddles out of it. Number 3. Are you a cat parent? If you have a cat at home, then strange cats may be more likely to approach you. Cats like to scent mark their humans, usually by rubbing their heads against their ankles to release a pheromone scent from special glands in their cheeks. This scent will remain on your legs, even after you leave the house. Although your human friends won't be able to smell it, thankfully, it will be like a glowing neon sign to other cats. Cats scent mark partly to mark their territory, but also to share information about themselves with the wider kitty community. A cat's pheromones will tell other cats key facts, such as their physical health, their emotional state, and whether they're ready to mate. Strange cats will smell that you have been marked by another cat and may decide to have a closer sniff in order to get all the hot feline gossip. This is especially likely to happen if you have an unneutered tomcat or an unspayed female who is going through heat. Cats might also just be able to smell that the cat who marked you was happy and content, and will recognize that this means that you are someone who is nice to cats. Number 4. What do you look like? Sometimes the reason that a strange cat approaches you isn't due to anything that you can control. Cats aren't always great at telling humans apart, for the same reason that humans often get different cats mixed up if they have the same fur color. If a strange cat seems to be unusually obsessed with you, it's possible that something about you reminds them of a current or former owner. Maybe you have the same hair color? Maybe you're wearing the same jacket that they always wear? Maybe you're just a similar height and build. It's also possible that it's nothing to do with your appearance. Cats are often more scent-oriented than vision-oriented, and if you happen to be wearing the same cologne or use the same shower gel as their human, then this can cause a cat to mistake you for them. Number 5. What do you smell like? Speaking of scents, while some smells might attract a cat because they remind them of humans that they love, others are more universally beloved. The most famous of these is catnip, which has a magnetic attraction for a lot of kitties, but that's not a very popular scent for humans. But you know what is? Mint, which happens to be a cousin of catnip. It doesn't have the same drug-like effects on cats that catnip does, but a lot of kitties still enjoy the smell. Valerian root, which is commonly used in herbal sleepy teas, is so popular among cats that it's sometimes used as a lure when people are trying to catch stray or feral cats. Minty toothpaste and sleepy teas are one thing, but what if we told you that there is one specific scent that was designed specifically to be worn by humans, but has gained a cult following in the feline community, especially among its larger members? Calvin Klein's obsession for men turns out to drive cats crazy and is so effective for big cats in particular that zookeepers will often spray it around lion and tiger enclosures to give the big cats a special treat. In 2018, it was even used as bait in India to help capture a wild tiger who was causing problems in the area. Number 6. What are you wearing? There's a reason that they call it a catwalk. Although cats don't wear clothes, they often have a fascination with certain types of fashion, although it's not exactly because they like the look. Cats are instinctively attracted to small, fast, and erratically moving objects, because that's what mice and small birds tend to look like. This is what's behind the feline fascination with toys like feather wands and laser pointers, and it's why if you notice yourself attracting a lot of kitty attention, you might want to look at what you're wearing. Trailing shoelaces, hanging loose threads, or even dangly jewelry or braids can trigger this instinct in a cat and make them think that it's time for play. If the cat following you seems to be staring at you intently, has their ears pointed forwards and is making short jumping and pouncing movements, then this strongly suggests that they're thinking of you as their new plaything. Shiny items of clothing or jewelry are also likely to attract a cat, especially if there is some kind of mirror effect or something that refracts light, as this can create patterns of light on the ground that have the same effect on cats as the red dot of a laser pointer. Finally, cats have a relatively narrow range of color vision compared to us primates. They didn't evolve to eat brightly colored fruit like we did, so they aren't all that great at seeing red and orange, but they can see yellow and blue very clearly. Because of this, cats are likely to be more attracted to toys that have these colors and to people who are wearing them. If you go out wearing blue jeans with a yellow raincoat and you start to notice yourself getting a lot more feline affection, then this is likely the reason why. Number 7. Where are you? Cats are like everyone else. When they see a new person on their turf, they get curious. Cats are famously territorial and will often consider not only the area that they live in, but also all objects and people in it to be part of their territory, regardless of what the people themselves think about it. If you show up in a new area and notice a cat coming up to you and trying to rub against your legs, then it's likely that they're just trying to inventory their territory and have noticed a new person that they need to add to their collection. Cats are also curious in general. We've all heard the phrase, "curiosity killed the cat." And sometimes a new person, especially if they come with an interesting new scent that they haven't smelled before, will be compelling enough that the cat decides to follow them just to find out more about them. Number 8. What's your garden like? Not all strange cats are encountered on the street. Some will track you down in your home. If your garden seems to be the top hangout spot for all the cool cats in your neighborhood, then you might want to look at your landscaping. Cats like places that are wild, both because they're more likely to find delicious mice and birds rustling around in the undergrowth or perched in the shrubbery, and because a lot of dense foliage means a lot of places to climb and a lot of opportunities to play, hide and seek with other kitties. If your garden is a little overgrown, and who hasn't taken a few extra days to mow the lawn during a busy period at work, then you're more likely to get the attention of the local cat population. Whether this is a downside or an upside is very much up to you. Stray cats are also more likely to show up if you put food out for them, even if it only started with one kitty. Cats may not be able to communicate with each other, but good news like food and shelter travels fast, and one can easily become a dozen. Number 9. What do you sound like? What do birds, mice, rats, and rabbits have in common? They're all animals that your cat would likely hunt in the wild, and they're all animals that make high-pitched, squeaking noises. Because of their particular taste in prey, cats are highly sensitive to high-pitched sounds. This is why making kissy noises tends to be a good way to lure cats over. They find high pitches easier to hear, and they like the way that they sound. If you like to whistle or enjoy walking along listening to music with a lot of high notes in it, then the neighborhood cats are likely to think that you sound great. This may apply even if you're wearing headphones. Cats have much more sensitive hearing than we do, and may be able to hear your music even through your earbuds. Some sounds can also have a special significance to a cat, particularly if they have something to do with food. You know how fast your own kitty back home comes running when they hear the can opener or the sound of a rustling treat packet? If you're opening something on the street that has plastic packaging, then neighborhood cats might mistake that sound for the sound of someone opening a packet of snacks, and they'll come running just as fast as they would at home. Number 10. Are you sweaty? Whether it's a hot day or a hard workout, getting sweaty in public can be kind of embarrassing. It shouldn't be, we all do it after all, but that doesn't stop you from cringing when you realize that you've got sweat patches showing under your armpits. But you know who isn't going to shame you for your sweat? Your local cats. We mentioned before that cats like to smell each other's pheromones to find out information about them, but they'll also often like to smell human pheromones to try and find out information about the human. These pheromones seep out in your sweat, and so a sweaty human is likely to be more interesting to a cat. On the slightly grosser side of things, sweat also contains salt, which cats find very tasty. If there's a lot of sweat on your skin, then you might even get cats trying to lick it off. Oh! Number 11. How are you feeling? Pheromones and salt aren't the only things in your sweat. When we feel strong emotions, our bodies release certain chemicals called hormones. When you feel scared or angry, for example, your body will release adrenaline, the hormone that triggers your fight or flight reflex. Traces of these hormones are also found in your sweat. If you happen to be feeling happy and relaxed, then cats may smell that on you and deduce that you're more likely to offer pets or snacks than a human who is feeling upset or annoyed. Number 12. Could you be pregnant? The super senses of cats go beyond being able to smell your emotions. Your hormones will also change when you're expecting a baby, and these hormonal changes will start happening long before you start showing any more noticeable symptoms. Due to their super sensitive hearing, cats also may actually be able to hear the fetus's heartbeat from within the womb. Cats, like humans, can have different reactions to pregnancy. Some don't care, but some will care a lot. Feral cats, who don't have owners to look after them, will often form colonies of females and babies around a common source of food or shelter. Pregnant cats in the colony will frequently get help and support from their friends in the form of gifts of food if they're unable to hunt for themselves, and sometimes one cat will even act as a midwife for the other, comforting them and grooming them while they're giving birth. If you're pregnant and a strange cat approaches you, then it's possible that they've detected the pregnancy and are coming over to let you know that they're around if you need any help with your new kittens. Number 13. Is it just a particularly friendly cat? Sometimes a strange cat approaching you is less to do with you and more to do with the cat. Although they have a reputation for being standoffish and hard to befriend, that doesn't stop some cats from being social butterflies. If one particular cat keeps approaching you, and you've seen them approaching other people as well, then it's possible that this is just an extra friendly cat. This is especially likely if, after the cat approaches you, they go out of their way to show you affection, whether by purring, rubbing against you, or even jumping up on their hind legs to try and say hello. Number 14. Do you just have the magic touch? The behavior of cats is sometimes mysterious, and not everything that our feline friends do is easily explainable. Some people will never know why they are cat magnets, because the reason is something that is simply beyond human understanding. Maybe they just have the magic touch, some sort of ineffable quality that speaks to cats in some way. Whatever the reason, if you have reason to believe that you have this trait, then be sure to appreciate the amazing gift that has been given to you. You're walking down the street when a tiny kitten catches your eye. Its fluffy tail flicks playfully, and you can't help but feel a burst of joy as it clumsily pounces towards you. Your heart melts. But later, you see a baby in a stroller. You look, expecting a similar reaction, but nothing. No warm fuzzies, no urge to coo. And you start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Am I crazy for not finding babies as cute as kittens? If you've had these thoughts, you're definitely not alone, and no, you're not crazy at all. While it's true that lots of people swoon over babies, and rightfully so, there's something about kittens that just grabs the attention of almost everyone. But why is this the case? What is it about kittens that makes them so irresistibly cute? Well, scientists have been curious about this too, and they've done some digging to figure it out. So in this video, we're going to explore what they've discovered about why our brains often favor these furry little friends over human babies. Stick around to find out more. What makes something cute? A study has revealed that our attraction to cuteness plays an essential role in human survival. Humans are born less developed than many animals who can walk almost immediately after birth. Because of our premature state at birth, we need extensive care, making it crucial for our young to appear cute to ensure they receive necessary attention. One research showed that our brains react differently when we look at a baby's face compared to an adult's face. When we see an adult, the process starts in the eyes and then moves to the back of the brain, where we have a special area just for recognizing faces. But when we see a baby, another part of the brain that handles our feelings and pleasures lights up at the same time as the face recognition area. This double reaction makes us notice babies very quickly and gives us a strong, immediate feeling that makes us want to take care of them. This dual reaction in the brain means that when we see a cute baby, they grab our attention almost instantly, so quickly that we're not even fully aware of it yet. Within just a moment of seeing a baby, our brain kicks into high gear, signaling that this baby needs care. Scientists have also created a way to measure cuteness using specific features like how big the forehead is compared to the face, how chubby the cheeks are, and how large the eyes are. Additionally, research has found that making a baby look even cuter with photo editing software can make people respond even more strongly to their cuteness. In other words, we can boost a baby's cuteness through technology. As people get older, their cuteness naturally decreases because their facial features change. These changes mean that over time, people's faces don't grab attention as quickly as they used to. So why then people find kittens cuter than babies? Jessica Gall-Myrick, an associate professor of communications at Indiana University, conducted a study to understand why people enjoy watching cat videos. She discovered that watching these adorable animals significantly improved viewers' moods. People felt more hopeful, happy, and satisfied, and experienced less anxiety, annoyance, sadness, and guilt. They also felt more energized after watching the videos. Even pharmaceutical companies are interested in these mood-boosting effects. When it comes to cats, looking at them, especially your own pet, activates parts of the brain associated with emotions and rewards. Petting a cat goes a step further, reducing the stress-related chemical cortisol and increasing dopamine and oxytocin, which are linked to pleasure and bonding. This connection is mutual. Cats also experience an increase in oxytocin when they rub against their owners or nuzzle them with their noses. This might sound predictable. Of course, interacting with animals makes us happier. But did you know it could also improve your performance at work? Research has shown that after looking at pictures of kittens, people are more accurate and make fewer mistakes in tasks that require careful thinking and hand-eye coordination. And it turns out that for most people, kittens and puppies generally score higher on the scale of cuteness than human babies. We cat parents will be happy to hear that even adult cats are seen as cuter than babies by many people. You might wonder why humans have evolved to find baby animals cuter than our own species. One reason is our influence on the evolution of domestic cats through selective breeding, changing their appearances over generations. Researchers point out that cats have been bred to retain juvenile features, such as big eyes and small noses, which make them look like babies to us. When we first see them, our brains might think they're human babies, and even after realizing that they're not, we still feel compelled to care for them. Even fictional characters have been modified over time to appear cuter, with more baby-like features. This is evident in characters like Hello Kitty, which has increasingly adopted more infant-like facial features over the decades. One journalist humorously but accurately captured why many people might prefer kittens over babies. The sound of kittens meowing is seen as more endearing than the crying of babies. When a kitten stares at you, it's not unsettling like when babies do. Kittens are seen as cuddly and relatively clean, unlike babies who often deal with diapers and messes. Kittens have a degree of independence that tiny, helpless human babies do not. But that's not all. Turns out it works the other way around as well. Babies also think cats are cuter than humans. From as young as 3 years old, we naturally find kittens cute. Researchers at the University of Lincoln decided to delve deeper into this by exploring how our bond with cats is influenced by their baby-like features and whether our reactions change as we age. While they could have listened to children's excited squeals to gauge their attraction to kittens, the researchers chose a more scientific approach. They used eye-tracking technology to study the reactions of children aged 3 to 6. They observed which features of the faces the children looked at most, and in another experiment, asked the children to rate the cuteness of the faces they saw. The experiment proved their theory correct. Even 3-year-olds were strongly drawn to images of kittens and puppies. Additionally, images of adult cats were more appealing to the children than those of humans. Since cuteness has been linked to adults' willingness to adopt a baby, the authors suggest that the same could apply to adopting cats. They propose that the level of conventional attractiveness might also influence how humans care for their cats. The study could lead to further research with practical implications, such as investigating whether the cuteness of an animal in rescue centers affects its likelihood of being adopted. But here's the darker side to cuteness response. Cuteness aggression. Seriously, it's an actual psychological term. Have you ever thought a kitten was so cute that you felt an overwhelming urge to squeeze it? This bizarre impulse to show aggression toward adorable creatures has been studied by scientists. It occurs when your brain is so flooded with feelings from cuteness overload that it can't process it all. The theory suggests that when there's too much activity in the brain's emotional and reward centers, the brain begins to introduce negative or opposing feelings to balance itself out. If you're overwhelmed by a baby's cuteness, for instance, you might not be able to care for it effectively. So your brain tries to lessen the intense joy by introducing a counteracting emotion. Are you a crazy cat person? Do you have pictures of your cat as the background to your phone's lock screen and home screen? Does your house border on having more cat furniture than human furniture? Do you find yourself diverting every conversation back to your fuzzy little friend? If so, then you might find yourself occasionally wondering, do cats ever get as crazy about their humans as humans get about their cats? Sure they do. From scent sharing to gift giving to tail twirling, in this video we're going to look at 11 signs that your kitty is absolutely nuts about you as their cat parent. But before we dive in, why not subscribe and join our feline loving community to learn more facts about your cat? Sign 1. When your kitty sees you coming, do they roll onto their back to show off their tummy? Many cat parents are under the impression that this is a sign that their fur baby is after a tummy rub. But if you've ever tried to rub your cat's tummy when they're like this, then you probably know that they don't react well to the attempt. Out come the teeth and claws, away, hopefully just in time, goes the human hand. So why does your cat show you their tummy if they don't want you to touch it? For the same reason that they react so badly to any attempted contact. Your cat's tummy is an incredibly vulnerable part of their body. It protects their delicate vital organs and is so sensitive that, for some cats, being touched there can actually cause them pain. This means that when your cat exposes their tummy to you, this is their way of showing you extreme and total trust. Sign 2. Some of you are going to be staring at your screens in confusion after that last section because your cats do enjoy tummy rubs. What's up with that? Are we lying to you about the nature or cats? Or did you accidentally adopt a dog and not notice? Don't worry. Although most cats won't tolerate having their tummies touched, some cats will enjoy a tummy rub, but usually only if they and their humans share a very special bond. Cats who allow their humans to touch their bellies are truly crazy about them. Sign 3. We've all been there. You're hurrying out the door for work, your hot morning coffee in one hand and your bag in the other, struggling to get your keys out of your pocket without dropping anything, when your kitty suddenly decides to sabotage you. They come up purring and start rubbing their bodies against your ankles, weaving in and out of your legs. Is this an attempt to trip you up? No. Although they don't always pick the best times to do it, a cat rubbing their face against your skin and clothes is actually trying to show you that they love you and consider you to be part of their family. Cats have special glands in their cheeks that release a pheromone scent that they use to mark you as a member of their social group. By spreading their scent onto you, they send a message to any other cats you may encounter during your day. Back off. This human is mine. Sign 4. While your kitty is rubbing against you, you might also notice some tail twirling going on. When a cat twirls their tail around your legs, it's essentially their way of holding hands. Cats can't grip things properly with their paws and have usually learned by adulthood that humans don't take kindly to having their fingers put in a cat's mouth, so winding their tails around your legs is their best option when they want to hold you close. Sign 5. Most cat parents don't spend a lot of time looking at their fur baby's whiskers. There's a common misconception that whiskers are just long hairs, albeit hairs that are unusually sensitive. But they're actually movable, and changes in their position can indicate changes in a cat's mood. If a cat's whiskers are pinned back, then this means that the cat is scared or upset. If they're relaxed and slightly drooping, then they're happy and contented. If they're pointed forward, however, then that means that the cat is incredibly focused on whatever they're pointed at. If your cat's whiskers are often pointed at you, then this is their way of showing that they are obsessed with you. Sign 6. You probably already know that a cat's purr can indicate that they're happy, but that's not the only reason they do it. Cats who are sad, in pain, or dying will often purr, as will cats who are nearby to other cats who are sick or injured. Scientists have determined that rather than being a simple expression of happiness, purring is probably meant as more of a social signal, a request for and an offer of love and friendship. If your cat purrs around you, then they're essentially saying, "I love you, and I hope you love me too." Sign 7. You might sometimes catch your kitty staring at you from across the room and then suddenly blinking the moment they catch your eye. What's going on there? Is your cat just really bad at staring contests? Nope. A cat kiss, or I love you blink, is a slow, steady blink that cats use to demonstrate extreme love and affection. It's the feline equivalent of blowing a kiss from across the room. If you want to show your kitty some love in return, try slow blinking back. You'll make their day. Sign 8. Cats are famously good sleepers, conking out at the drop of a hat. Not surprising when you consider that they can sleep up to 16 hours a day, which is roughly twice as much as an average human. But you might not realize what a huge sign of trust it is that your cat chooses to fall asleep in your presence. In the wild, your kitty's ancestors would have been prey for larger animals as often as they were predators to smaller ones. As a result, they evolved to be literal scaredy cats, constantly on the lookout for predators. Cats are especially vulnerable when they're sleeping, so they often feel an urge to hide when they feel tired. But if your cat really trusts you, then they'll sleep wherever they want, because they know that they can depend on you to protect them from anything that might try to hurt them. Sign 9. Does your cat ever try to sabotage you at work? If you work from home, then you're probably familiar with the experience of having your cat jump on your keyboard and start typing nonsense the moment your back is turned. Or worse, press some random combination of buttons and somehow end up turning the whole screen upside down and switching the default language to Mesopotamian cuneiform. Why do they do this? Are they also gunning for that promotion? No. When a cat keeps interfering in a task you're trying to complete, then it might seem like they're just getting in the way, because they are. But from their perspective, the two of you are bonding. Mirroring is when your kitty tries to copy the behavior of other cats or humans in their social group, in an attempt to strengthen their relationships. Your cat may not know exactly why you spend so much time at your computer, but they can tell that it's important to you, so they try to get involved. Sign 10. Ouch! Ouch! Kneading or making biscuits is the rhythmic treading motion your cat makes against your leg when they're sitting in your lap. Often, unfortunately, with their claws out. It's called that because it looks kind of like your cat is kneading dough. Cats start kneading when they're babies, and they tread against their mama's belly to stimulate milk flow. Your cat doesn't expect you to start lactating, but the motion is something that they find comforting, and it's their way of telling you that you remind them of their mom. Sign 11. Cats are terrible at giving gifts. It's an unfortunate fact. Your kitty is never going to bring you a nice bottle of wine, or a box of chocolates, or the latest book in your favorite series. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't be grateful for the gifts they do give you. Outdoor cats will often bring their humans dead, or dying birds and mice. Feral cats who don't have humans to look after them will often form colonies around a common source of food or shelter. Members of feral cat colonies have been observed bringing food to other cats who are unable to hunt for themselves because they are injured or nursing kittens. Your kitty's gifts of mice and birds may not be appreciated, but they just want to try and feed you. Does your cat have a favorite human? Although a lot of cats find themselves with more than one owner, one person in the household will often become a cat's special person, the one they love above all others. Contrary to popular belief, this preference isn't just based around who fills the food bowls. A cat can actually choose their favorite person based on a variety of factors, and they are not always as straightforward as we expect. In this video, we're going to be looking at why cats become attached to certain people, how they choose which person to become attached to, and how to tell who your own kitty's favorite human is. Hopefully you. But before we dive in, why not subscribe and join our feline loving community for more tips and tricks on how to care for your kitty? Do cats really love their cat parents? Every cat owner has had someone say it to them at some point. Your cat doesn't really love you, they just want free food and shelter. Not only is this statement cruel, it's also inaccurate. Like all mammals, cats are fully capable of forming social bonds. In fact, since becoming domesticated, they've gotten really good at it. The ancestors of our domestic cats, African wildcats, still exist, but they're not much like your little furball at home. These cats are completely solitary and generally only interact when it's time to mate. If you have more than one kitty at home, then you'll know that while they're often a bit hissy and standoffish when first introduced to each other, pet cats can absolutely become friends and enjoy, or at least tolerate, each other's company. Feral cats, who live in the wilderness and don't have humans to look after them, will often form colonies made up of female cats and their kittens. Cats within a colony will actively seek to help each other out by acting as babysitters for each other's kittens, or by bringing food for colony members who are injured and can't hunt. These cats will frequently form strong social bonds based on matrilineal relationships, the relationships between mothers, daughters, sisters, and aunties. Cats haven't been as intensely bred for human companionship as some other pets, mainly dogs, but their brains are definitely capable of building social bonds. How do cats actually pick their favorites? There are a few different factors at play when it comes to picking feline favorites. Who has the cat known for the longest? Who spends the most time with them? Who feeds them? Who shows them the most physical affection? But it's not just a matter of brown-nosing your way into your cat's heart with bribes of tuna and ear scratches. Cats may also choose their favorite humans based on personality. If a cat is very quiet and shy, for example, then they are likely to prefer the person in the household who is the most introverted. If they are more playful and adventurous, then they might pick an extrovert. How do I tell who my cat's favorite person is? Number 1. Cats are busy creatures who generally have their own things to be getting on with and might not have time to be at a human's beck and call. Famously, it can be very difficult to get a cat's attention if they don't feel like giving it. So, if your cat does give you some of that sweet, sweet attention, then it's a sign that they see you as somebody special. Do they come running to greet you the moment you come home from work? Do they drop whatever they're doing to come cuddle the moment you sit down on the couch? That's a sign that your cat has singled you out as their favorite person. Number 2. You might notice your kitty staring at you intently from across the room. If you look over to see what they're doing and catch their eye, then they might respond by slowly lowering their lids. This deceptively subtle gesture is what's known as a slow blink, also sometimes called a cat kiss or an I love you blink. This is how cats show intense love and affection, essentially the feline equivalent of blowing you a kiss. If your cat does this with you more than anyone else, then you can be sure that you've gained the top spot in their heart. Number 3. Although you probably think of your kitty as a predator, especially if you keep finding dead mice and birds on your carpets. The wild ancestors of our domestic cats were actually prey to larger animals as often as they were predators to smaller ones. This is the real reason behind the famously skittish nature of our feline friends. Your kitty jumps a mile when you shut a door too loudly because thousands of years ago, that loud bang could have been the roar of a hungry lion. Cats instinctively feel that they have to be alert at all times, which means that the most dangerous time, according to them, is when they're sleeping. If your cat chooses to sleep out in the open, rather than following their natural instincts and finding somewhere to hide, then that's a sign that they consider you someone who will protect them from harm. If they choose to regularly sleep in your bed, then you can assume that you are somebody very, very special to them. Number 4. Being licked by a cat doesn't feel good. There, we said it. Their tongues are like sandpaper, covered in thousands of tiny spines called papillae, which act like a hairbrush against a cat's fur and like an emery board against delicate human skin. An emery board that leaves you faintly damp with saliva. Yuck. But before you push your furry friend away, think about it from their perspective. Cats groom each other to build social bonds and show love and affection. If your cat licks you, then that's their way of trying to let you know that they consider you a valued member of their social group and someone who is very dear to them. Number 5. Cats don't suffer fools gladly, as any unfortunate soul who's tried to give one a bath or make them take a pill can testify. assuming they survive the experience, that is. If a cat doesn't like something that you're doing, they'll let you know about it, often with claws. But if you're their favorite person, you might be granted privileges that other humans don't get. If you are the only person who can brush your cat, or clip their nails, or put them in their cat carrier without ending up more scratched up than a skipping CD, that's a sign that your cat is giving you the VIP treatment, because to them you are a very important person. Number 6. Not all the signs of feline favoritism are good. If you recently invited a new person or a new kitty into your life, and you already have a furry friend who considers you their favorite pal, then their distress over having to share you with another might cause them to start acting out. This can take the form of aggression towards the interloper, such as hissing, swiping, or biting, or it can take the form of attempts by the cat to self-soothe, by hiding, becoming overly clingy, or trying to scent mark their territory by peeing everywhere. If this describes your cat, then you shouldn't have to put up with this behavior, but you should take into account the fact that it's likely a manifestation of their fear of losing their favorite human. Number 7. Do you have a suspiciously furry shadow? Cats often try to show their love for their favorite people the same way you might try to show your love for your best friend or partner, by showing an interest in their activities. Your cat might not really get your obsession with the strange box of lights and buttons that you spend all day tapping away at, or understand why you keep waiting until all your clothes have finally taken on your scent, and then putting them in a weird spinny machine that makes them smell of soap. They might be clueless as to why you actually seem to enjoy sitting in the terrifying giant wheel machine that takes people to the vet. Humans are weirdos, but you are your cat's weirdo, so they try to follow you around and participate as best they can in your day-to-day activities. Sure, their participation can often take the form of lying on your laptop keyboard, or getting cat hair all over your clean laundry, or stowing away in the car when you're trying to leave for work. But this is just their way of trying to let you know that you are their favorite human being. Did you know that your cat knows things about you that even you don't realize? Your cat is watching and understanding more about you than you might think. Yep, that's right. Your cat sees the real you, not just the image you show the world. In this video, we'll reveal the surprising things your cat notices about you and how it proves they truly care. But don't worry, they're the best secret keepers around. Number 1. Social standing. Most cats aren't nearly as social as dogs. If you have friends over, they might not realize you have a cat at all. Many felines are far more likely to hide somewhere quiet than say hello. Some cats, on the other hand, enjoy making new friends and making you jealous by cuddling up to your guests instead of you. If you have a sociable kitty, you might notice they react differently to certain people in your life. This is because they can tell who you like and dislike. When you enjoy somebody's company, your body language, voice, and emotions change. Your cat can tell from your reaction that the person you're with is friendly and will be more likely to join you in spending time with your guest. They can also tell by your emotions and body language when you don't feel comfortable in someone's presence. While some cats, even the sociable ones, will hide to get away from the tense situation. Some cats will show their discomfort with aggression if the person you dislike tries to pet them. Their way of showing solidarity might leave your guest bemused at the new scratches on their hand, but at least you know your cat has your back. Number 2. How are you feeling? You might not expect your cat to be aware of all the nuances of human emotion, but they're incredibly emphatic when they want to be. They can tell when you're happy, sad, or stressed from work. Sometimes they can pick up on these emotional changes before you realize what you're feeling yourself. Although they're not the best at recognizing faces and rely more on your scent and the sound of your voice to determine who you are, a study in 2020 at the University of Lincoln found they could recognize facial expressions too. Happy expressions and voices earned much friendlier behavior from cats, while they approached sadness more warily. Cats know how to respond to your emotions too. An older study from 2015 by the University of Milan found cats would cuddle more with their cat parents when they were sad, but approach more warily when they were stressed. If you've ever doubted whether your cat cares, their willingness to cuddle to help you feel better proves they adore you. Number 3. Emotional support blanket. Whenever you're not feeling your best, have you noticed you always gravitate to your safe spot? Maybe it's that corner of the couch where you can curl up in front of the TV and watch reruns of your favorite show, or nestled in the fluffy blankets on your bed. Your cat notices too. With their ability to tell when you're feeling sad and in need of encouragement, they'll learn that those blankets you curl up in, or that beanbag you pull out every so often, are the most comfortable and safe spots in the house. You might not use that emotional support blanket all the time, but you use it enough that your cat knows it smells like you. They'll cuddle up beside you whenever you're using it, but you won't mind them borrowing it when you're not, right? The next time you feel sad, you might even find your cat beats you to your favorite spot. Did they sense your emotional distress? Or did they just want dibs on the most comfortable spot in the house? They'll never tell, but they'll let you cuddle them anyway. Number 4. To thine cat's self be true. Cats have very little time to deal with things that bother us humans. They don't care whether you like pineapple on pizza or not. As long as they get fed on time, their litter tray is clean, and they have plenty of toys to hunt. They're happy. They're even happier when they know you're happy too, and they're not shy about giving you a disgruntled side eye if you dare to put on airs around them. The thing is, your cat is with you through your highs and lows. They're your best friend, even if they'd prefer you didn't bring that to anyone's attention. Spending so much time with you allows them to see you for who you are rather than the image you want to portray to the world. They care far more about the you who knows how to pet them right there, more than the you who spends half an hour in the bathroom fretting about looking your best for work. You don't need to worry about your street cred though. Your cat knows the value of a tough kitty image, and they're not about to out you to your friends. Besides, seeing the real you is an honor only they are allowed. You're their cat parent and no one else's. Number 5. Did you sleep well? Your cat doesn't need to ask whether you slept well. They can tell before you wake up. You disappearing under blankets for around 8 hours a night might not make any sense to them. They prefer much shorter naps throughout the day, but they still pay attention to your sleep habits. From when you start preparing for bed, right up to when you wake up. When you sleep well and stay still for hours, they love to take advantage and snooze alongside you. But when you're restless, they're likely to bid a hasty retreat to their cat bed instead. How are they supposed to nap with you, tossing, turning, and kicking them out of their warm spot? The more your cat gets to know you and your routine, the more you'll find them beating you to the bed too. They think your pillow is absolutely delightful, by the way. Number 6. Your health. Cats aren't nearly as well known for their sense of smell as dogs, and maybe they're not quite as good at sniffing things out, but their noses are still incredible. Their noses are about 14 times better than ours and allow them to sniff out mice or smell pheromones from cats and other animals. Humans too, especially their favorite cat parent. They might cuddle with you more when you have a fever. They're not going to say no to a free heat source, even if them sitting on you makes you even warmer. But their impressive sense of smell also enables them to pick up on hormonal or chemical changes in your body that occur when you're sick. A study by researchers at the University of Tokyo in 2019 explored how cats use their sense of smell to understand their surroundings and pick up on chemical changes within them. Although it wasn't focused on studying whether cats can detect health issues in humans, there is anecdotal evidence that shows cats respond to illnesses. Some cats have alerted their cat parents to infections or tumors, allowing them to get treated as early as possible. There's no need to doubt your cat loves you if they save your life in such a way. Number 7. Routine. Nothing makes a cat feel more comfortable than knowing what to expect and when to expect it. Routine for them is reassuring. They'll learn yours simply through being close and paying attention. They're so good at memorizing your schedule that they notice things you might not realize are part of your regular day. Your cat isn't just your furry, meow-tyful alarm clock. They're also a very accurate, only a few minutes to an hour early dinner bell. But their timekeeping abilities don't end there. They know when you're most productive during the day and when you're likely to have time to spare to play with them. even if their playtime falls when you're just trying to get into bed. They're also ready and waiting for your downtime in the evenings when you sit still long enough for them to curl up on your lap. Don't worry if they hop up halfway through the movie only to stare at you expectantly. They're just waiting for your usual bathroom break and snack run. Don't forget to bring them something too. The best part of their routine management skills is their way of greeting you at the door when you return home from work. Their chirpy greeting, rumbling purrs, and winding around your legs might also be a sneaky way to escape through the front door, but they're only trying to keep you on your toes. Number 8. Boss Kitty. If you ever try to tell anyone you're the one in charge, you might just hear a very feline snicker from your cat. They know, better than anyone, how much you do for them. After all, they have you wrapped so tightly around their adorable paws that you clean out their litter box without protest. They might not know or care what a phone is, but if they did, they'd have you on speed dial for food delivery, chief toy merchant, catnip dealer, and grooming service. Cats know exactly how much power over you they hold. They might stick to your routine more often than not, but don't be fooled. They know exactly what they're doing. By watching you carefully, they know the perfect time to twine around your legs and give you their cutest mew. They'll get a treat or a chin scratch every time. If they bring you their favorite stuffed mouse, you'll even play with them. Don't try to tell them you don't have time. They know better. It's very safe to say you're not the one in charge at all, but they'll let you believe that. Have you ever wondered why cats do some of their weirdest things and what those behaviors have to do with you? Spoiler alert, your relationship with your cat might play a bigger role than you think. Let's find out more. Number 1. Happy trills. Did you know cats only meow toward humans? When they communicate with each other, they rely on body language. Most of their vocalizations are solely between mothers and their kittens. For their devoted human parents, though, they know they can't rely on body language alone. We just don't get it. So, they use their voices instead. You're probably familiar with meowing and purring. Both are well-recognized cat vocalizations. But what about those odd sounds that are a mix of the two? It's a sort of soft, chirping noise cats do when they see you. This sound is called a trill. Mother cats use trilling to talk to their kittens. They'll use it to call them back to the safety of their cat bed or keep them on track when they're adventuring. The reason your cat trills at you is slightly different, but it's still a big sign of their love for you. Have you noticed they always trill whenever you approach them or enter the room they're in? Maybe you come home from work and they greet you with a curly tail and a happy chirp. They're saying a very cheerful hello. Cats also trill whenever they want affection, especially when they know you always give them a chin scratch when you hear them talk to you. Number 2. The slow blink. You're minding your own business when you turn around and find your cat staring at you from across the room. They continue peering at you for a moment longer, and just as you start to wonder what's wrong, they give you a slow, sleepy blink. Although they look like they're tired, this sleepy blink is known as a kitty kiss. While they don't like feeling trapped by real kisses or hugs, this slow blink is their alternative. It's a very quiet but heartfelt "I love you," and it's always a delight for a cat parent to receive. Number 3. Pooping outside the box. Not all weird behaviors are a good thing. For one, your kitty has a perfectly good litter tray, probably 2 to make sure they have plenty of space. So why do they keep doing their business on the floor? You know you keep the litter clean and you check it regularly to make sure. They're not telling you they hate you, but this is one habit that means your cat is unhappy. If they've resorted to pooping outside the litter tray, they're well and truly miffed. Your cat could be telling you that there aren't enough litter trays for them. A good rule of thumb is 1 box per cat and then 1 extra. For 2 cats, you'll need at least 3 litter boxes around the house. This also helps prevent 1 cat from scaring a less confident kitty away from their bathroom spot. Or they could be protesting an abrupt change in their routine. Are there packed boxes all over the house in preparation for a house move? They don't like it and want things to go back to normal. Try to keep their routine as stable as possible by feeding them at their usual times and giving them plenty of reassurance that you'll never leave them behind. But litter box problems can also be a sign of a health issue, especially if your cat shows signs of weight loss or a change in appetite and behavior. A suddenly aggressive kitty might be in pain. Number 4. A boop from a headbutt. While trilling sounds super friendly, other habits just seem like your cat has chosen violence. Head boops, for one. If they love you so much, why are they so desperate to cause you bodily harm with their head of all things? When you'd never consider headbutting someone, it can seem like strange behavior from your cat. But to them, it's a way of showing their love for you. Their cheeks, forehead, and chin contain scent glands. They use these glands to mark things they consider theirs with their scent. Scent marking like this is their way of warning other animals away. Every time they head boop you, they're leaving their scent behind. They'll do it as many times as they need to make sure no other cat steals you away. You belong to them. Number 5. Laundry basket nap time. Cats sleep anywhere. They might choose their cat bed or your pillow, but sometimes they choose the weirdest places ever. The laundry basket is definitely an odd choice, particularly when it's filled with all those dirty clothes you haven't had a chance to wash yet. Considering their sensitive noses, you'd think your cat would avoid your dirty laundry like the plague. You definitely wouldn't want to bury yourself in unwashed clothes, even if they are yours. Your cat, however, finds it comforting. They don't think your laundry basket smells unpleasant at all. To them, it's the perfect spot to feel close to you, especially when you're not at home for them to sit on. The thing is, all those dirty clothes smell exactly like you. Cats memorize your scent so they know who you are and that you're safe to be around. They associate you with good things and find comfort in your presence. Your kitty loves your laundry basket so much because they feel safe whenever they curl up among your clothes. It's like you're right there with them, giving them a warm hug. Number 6. The nap top. Laundry baskets aren't the only odd place cats sleep. They're not even the oddest. That honor goes to your laptop. The laundry basket at least looks comfortable, even if you're a little concerned about how your kitty deals with the smell. Your laptop, on the other hand, can't be that cozy of a bed. Cats can't even knead it into a more comfortable shape. So why are they so fascinated? The most frustrating part of this laptop napping spot habit is how your cat only seems to care whenever you're using it, which can make work very difficult. Part of the reason why they like your laptop so much lies in how warm it gets when you use it. It might not be soft like all that laundry, but it's still a pleasant spot for a nap, especially on cold days when your kitty just can't seem to find a warm enough spot to sleep in. That's only half the reason though. The other is because you're the one using it. Cats are very clever and they're curious to boot. They know your attention is on your laptop and they want to know what's so intriguing. Something has to have gotten your attention. They might think you're a little obsessed with that moving cursor, but they're right there with you. That darting movement is fascinating. When your cat jumps between you and your laptop though, they likely always get petted. So maybe you're a little disgruntled at having your furry friend walk across your keyboard, but you needed a break anyway, right? Number 7. Would you like a present? One weird habit cats do is something most cat parents wish they didn't: bringing home live or dead prey. While it's adorable when your cat brings you their catnip mouse, it's not so fun when it's a real one, especially when they promptly let it go in your living room. Is your cat trying to tell you that you don't feed them enough? Or is this some kind of strange, morbid warning that you're on some kitty's hit list? Fortunately, neither is the case. Bringing you their prey, whether it was once alive or not, is instinctive. No matter how fluffy and cuddly they are, your cat is a hunter. They're always on the lookout for something to catch. Even indoor kitties who mostly only pounce on toys might win the lottery with that mouse infestation in your kitchen. Cats bring you their catch for several reasons. 1. They want to share their hunting knowledge and teach you how to hunt. Their mother would bring dead or injured prey to them to teach them valuable skills. So they mimic this behavior with you. Somebody has to teach you how to hunt properly. Not all your food can come out of a cold box. You're part of their family, so they want to make sure you can care for yourself. 2. Your cat trusts you to look after their catch for them. They might not be hungry when they capture that mouse, but they know exactly where to keep it safe for later. It might be icky to you, but your cat means well. Number 8. The belly prank. Most cat parents have experienced the belly rub prank. You're fussing your cat and they chirp and roll over. It's as if they're saying, "Here's my belly, rub it please." But as soon as you reach out a hand, they grab you with their claws. Sometimes their teeth too. What gives? Is your cat just fond of mischief? You thought they just wanted love. Did they just want to sink their claws into you instead? Why would they prank you like that? When your cat rolls over like this, they're not requesting a belly rub. Okay, some cats do enjoy having their stomach tickled, which is an extra special honor for any devoted cat parent. But don't despair if your kitty never lets you touch their belly. Rolling over for you is a big honor too. A cat's stomach is the most vulnerable part of them. It's soft, often covered in less fur, and full of important organs that need to be protected. They don't show it to just anyone. Showing their belly to you means you're their most trusted friend. They might hate belly rubs, but they know you're safe to be around and they love you for it. Have you ever wondered whether your cat knows who you are? How do they recognize you as their cat parent? Check out this video to find out.